Gemini, this is your Equilibrium horoscope for 2021. So Gem, I hope all is well, of course, and how we're going to conduct this horoscope, we're going to pull 3 cards, and once the 3 cards are revealed, I will blend the energies in order to kind of pull out some sort of imbalance going on within that we can address. And when I say imbalance, it's not a bad thing. It's just something that we may not even realize subconsciously that we need to bring our awareness to. And this is just so we can have a little talk about it and heal it by pulling it out, addressing, focusing on it a bit, and releasing, okay? And that's going to create a sense of balance physically. It'll help us find our center of gravity, and it will take the pressure off of the moon's impact it has on us through its gravitational push and pull, its high tide, low tide, emotional highs and lows, and that effect that it has on our body. So, you know, that's a great thing that the moon does for us, where, you know, it helps us, you know, feel that emotional depth and all of those different transparencies of the lunar, you know, cycles. It's important we go through those phases because it changes and it helps us, you know, tune into our intuition, and it evolves our psyche, so forth and so on. And it creates this emotional journey that we can go on every month, and it's incredible. But it also, you know, gives us a sense of groundedness, yes, but the gravity, it can be heavy sometimes. So this is to help us feel lighter and take some of that pressure off, so we feel more stronger in our physical stance in our body, and we can kind of move around the earth and whatnot with more groundedness, stability, better balance and rhythm, okay? And this will be somewhat of an anatomical, medicinal kind of like inner therapy, so to say. So that's how it will manifest outwardly, and it'll help our posture and stuff. So it'll be good because it'll get us back in touch and tune with our physical body and help us not neglect it, because if it wasn't for our flesh, we wouldn't be able to experience all these beautiful things that our mind leads us to, and our intuition and our psyche. You know, we get to experience all those beautiful things by feeling all the sensations going on within our physical description, and how that can be pleasurable in itself. Okay, Gem? So let's get 3 cards out. Let's see. So you got the Hanged Man, the first one up. And like I said, I won't start deciphering the meanings until they're all revealed, okay? Because it's going to have a very different connotation once the other elements from the cards are brought into focus. And then we have the Queen of Wands. And I'm really feeling this deck, so that's why I'm holding the cards up, so you can see the pick. Because usually I won't do that, but I'm feeling this deck, so. Okay, one more card. So far, the Hanged Man upright and the Queen of Wands upright. And I'm feeling like this is going to be something fun to address. So, and then we got the Page of Wands in the reverse. So, Gem, what I'm sensing from these 3 energies together is there's this sense of it's almost like what needs to be talked about and addressed is there's this hold on, my slide, my slicky slide right here. There you go. So what I'm sensing is there's this it's almost like what needs to be talked about, Jem, is there's this there's a need to point out there's some sort of inner cycle that has been at this, not necessarily a flat line, but there's so much being developed as far as some sort of skill, and why this skill hasn't been forged to its maximum potential yet is because there's this way the universe has its own kind of like timing to kind of restructure this this sense of it's almost like this sense of personal power. And it's like what I'm hearing is you feel it inside, that there's this sense that there's this development of your own personal power that has been almost being forged. It's like I'm hearing that this is taking time because there's certain needed experiences in order to add to some sort of development going on internally that has it's almost like it has a spiritual context to it. So it feels as if it's taking a long time, right, to kind of get to this this mastery point where you're able to utilize such a gift. It's almost like a spiritual gift, not just spiritual, but this is it feels like a necessary process to it's almost like enhance some sort of quality that you have about your own personal power and your own personal development. And it is being kind of almost taken to the next level. And then it's like with the Page of Wands in the reverse kind of being shoved into this energy, it is telling me that what needs to be looked at, other than what I just mentioned, is this sense of feeling as if there's some sort of inadequacy with this own personal power, this development that's happening. Because, like I said, it's like on the universe's timing, and it seems very kind of not necessarily at a standpoint, or it's not at a complete halt. There's so much going on, but it's kind of like going on beneath the radar, behind the scenes type of energy. It's happening in a very spiritual way. So it's kind of being developed in a way where it's like happening on different timelines. So it feels like it's a long process, or a long drawn out process even. So you're feeling as if you know, is this sense of development going to go to the next level? Am I going to, you know, spiritually evolve to the next level? I've been at this level for so long, but I feel this excitement going on inside. I feel this sense of something changing. There's something evolving. There's something being upgraded within my own self empowerment. And it's being kind of it's being forged very slowly. So we feel as if that we're not quite able to harness this personal development yet. It's like we still feel like we are kind of at, even though we are very advanced, it's almost like with the Page of Pentacles in the reverse added to this, it's almost like we feel as if, you know, we're kind of on this mediocre type of plane. It's like we're on this mediocre type of not just level, but I mean as far as growth, because I'm sensing that there's this sense of personal empowerment regarding spirituality, and a sense of it's almost like a sense of taking our craft to the next level, so to say. And this has been some sort of hidden aspect within ourselves that has been forging away by the divine. And I feel like it's being presented to us, like we get certain spurts of this excitement, and it's almost like we feel this sense of our empowerment regarding something spiritual being evolved, being taken to the next level. Like we feel it being worked on from the divine, from the creator inside, but it's not quite, you know, finished. And it's almost like it's like when you feel yourself kind of it's almost like metamorphosizing. However, it's like you feel the growth, and then you're like, am I fully there so I can, you know, showcase it? But then it's kind of you're like, you feel like as if you're back to just, you know, this the normal kind of basic familiar, comfortable empowerment, so to say, or just sense of personal development, you know, that you've been on. And it's like you feel that there's something more happening within that's creating more of a higher state of consciousness, and you're being developed and kind of, you know, by the divine internally, whether you know it or not. You're being kind of forged in order to get to the next level. Okay? So, I mean, that could have been put more simply, but I'm just trying to like pull out so we can kind of understand this, because it seems a little bit peculiar, because in one hand, I see a lot of it's almost like the divine is been kind of working away internally, developing this next level of personal empowerment regarding something very spiritual in context. And it's almost like it's being felt. I feel like you're feeling it. So one minute you feel like as if it's going to the next level, and the next minute you feel like you're just at the same level, okay? Or you're having to do a lot of reflecting about, rising up and kind of leveling up. So that is just something that we need to look at inside, because I feel like that's this underlying imbalance that needed to be pulled out, Gemini. So I hope that was helpful. And by us just kind of talking about this, it'll help, like I said, it'll help manifest a better equilibrium regarding your exterior, so to say. And yeah, as always, thank you so much for spending time with me and hearing me out with my Equilibrium horoscope. And I will see you again. Take care. Much love. And now we're going to the second section.